It is safe to say that the west coast of the United States and Canada is on high alert this morning as the largest swarm of 5.0 earthquakes to ever hit the Juan De Fuca fracture zone or the Cascadia subduction zone on the western coast that we have ever seen in human history. It is no surprise to me that the professionals and non-professionals alike are warning the people of the western US and western Canada to be prepared for the big one. We are going to take a look at this crazy situation developing right in front of our eyes, and that's just gotta happen right here, right now. Let's go. All right, my friends, welcome back. December 8th, 2021, 11:05 a.m. And yesterday began a process that a lot of people have talked about for a long time, and that is whether or not we would have a precursor or some sort of warning event leading up to the big one. Now, very quickly, the big one is a term that has been being used to describe the next big earthquake in the West Coast based off of history. The last big one occurred in 1906, a 7.9 quake that moved 300 miles of fault, razed large parts of San Francisco, and killed more than 3,000 people. It was the deadliest quake in U.S. history. And the reason they call it the big one, according to the USGS, no matter what your opinion of them may be, there is a 70% chance that one or more quakes of magnitude 6.7 or larger will occur before the year 2030. So my friends, in a nutshell, we have the Pacific Plate and then the Juan De Fuca Plate, which creates a fault line that involves the Juan De Fuca Ridge, the Blanco fracture zone, and then the Cascadia subduction zone, which borders the coast of Washington, Oregon, and then California. By far one of the most active and famous fault zones based on the history of not just the Juan De Fuca or Blanco fracture zones, but the connection to the San Andreas fault that runs through California. And we all know about that one. So the point I'm trying to make here is that with all the different fracture zones and expected areas for the big one, there really is no specific area of the West Coast where they claim the big one will happen. There are some hot spots, but because of how active these fault lines are, the big one could range anywhere from down near the Baja all the way up to San Andreas, or it could take place off the coasts of Washington, Oregon, which seems to be the case right now within an event that we have never seen before. This is the strongest swarm we've ever had in recorded human history going on right now. Now, my friends, take that however you will, but if there was ever a warning or something to lead you to prepare for the big one, this would be it. And this is no exaggeration. We have literally never seen a situation like this where this many 5.0, nearly 6.0 earthquakes have taken place in such a short period of time. Just take a look at this list over here. The strongest as of right now on the USGS is a 5.8 taking place at 2021 UTC time last night. And I can scroll down right here and you are looking at about 19 magnitude 5.0s and higher. And just to show you that this is an ongoing event, just minutes ago we had a 5.3 that is the most recent earthquake within this swarm. So my friends, there is no telling what exactly this is. Is this a precursor to a much bigger earthquake? Is this an isolated swarm that is just letting us know that the fault line is active? This is a very unique situation taking place that I'm sure you're going to hear about for a while. Before I get too far off track, take a look at what happened in the center of the country just moments ago. A 4.3, downgraded from a 4.6, unbelievable, taking place 5 kilometers south-southwest of Gypsum, Kansas. That is a big quake for that area, with well over 500 people reporting feeling this quake. Now, one thing I want to point out that could possibly be something that led to this swarm of earthquake is the fact that we have connected faults all the way down by Chile, Argentina, the area where we see lots of deep earthquakes, some of the most deep we've ever seen. And only back to November 28th, we had a 7.5 downgraded from a 7.8 take place that could very well be the precursor to the precursor. So we got to look at all possibilities, including the earthquake we reported on from Esther Island, the 6.2, that is also connected via faults all the way to the San Andreas. So we may be dealing with some sort of pressure transfer. Regardless, the cause and effect is taking place, and it's happening where we don't want it to happen. Because this is an ongoing situation, I don't want to get into too much detail here, but one thing I want you to keep an eye out for, specifically those who watch my channel on a regular basis, we've been talking about a situation developing with the new Madrid fault line. We could see a heavy grouping of earthquakes course, just to the west of the New Madrid. But if we look at the New Madrid itself and the 30 days all magnitude setting, we can see we have a clear flare-up all the way to the northeast with an uptick of earthquakes and meteor sightings. Remember that. So in conclusion, what we have here is a very, very significant seismic event, maybe multiple events that includes the east itself or the most northeast. We just had that big 4.3 to 4.7 in Kansas and an ongoing swarm, the biggest we've ever seen in human history, near the Blanco fracture zone, the Juan De Fuca fracture zone, and the Cascadia subduction zone, west coast US, west coast of Canada. I'm going to leave some links available to you that explain a little more of these fault lines and how complex they really are, as well as the different possibilities and expectations that they each have. My friends that live on the west coast specifically, but not only, please just have a plan. When people say have a plan, they don't mean run out and spend all your money and be irresponsible, but it is always good to have some sort of plan, even if it means leaving where you live to get to a more safe place if you are in an area where the danger would be higher after a big earthquake. It is not rocket science. It's a simple plan that you can have with your families, an exit route, another family member to stay with for a few days. I know it's easier said than done, but having a plan is what is important. I am very happy to see the attention being brought to the eastern side of the United States and the New Madrid fault. I know many people have looked at it for a long time, but it seems to me that more attention is being paid to it, whether we like it or not, and I think that's the best thing to do moving forward. I will continue to report on the West Coast and the East Coast. As any information comes in, any information you have, please drop down in the comments section. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Canada. You're involved in this too. British Columbia, no breaks for you. I hope you're all doing well. Any information you want to send me, you know how to reach me. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.